Good morning, everyone. Last class we are discussing about distance time graph and the speed time graph, and also explain for center of gravity, right? And definition is also explained for center of gravity. The center of gravity is an object, the point through which entire weight its object appear to act. Okay, if a entire of weight acting for the center of point, if a stability of point is called the center of gravity, is also explained. Okay, today we are discussing about the topic stability. Okay, so what is the stability? So the type of stability also is explained here. If a stability is measuring the body, is the ability to maintain the original position. So what is the definition of stability? Stability. Stability is a measure of object, measure of bodies ability to maintain the original position. Okay, there are three types of the stability in stable equilibrium, unstable equilibrium, and the neutral equilibrium. Okay, the three types of stability. Okay, and if you first one stable equilibrium, if you have taken off initially the photon, if a photon can be then title through a quite a big angle without topping. Okay, so if you taken off a photon, okay, if you then this initial of the position, okay, this initial of position, if a center of gravity, okay, this is a center of gravity, and this is a base point. Okay, and suppose if you're given of if you're rising the that object, okay, then a center of gravity, if you then a rising of center of gravity, okay, this is a base point. If you're rising the point of this is a base. Okay, so this is the momentum of weight and p1 point. Okay, and if you then normal of line, okay, if a normal of line acting for this place, it's mean if you object of the point, okay, the point of point. So what is the explain of stable equilibrium? It is a center of gravity is rising with it is displaced, correct? If a center of gravity, if you initially this point, and after if you're rising of fortune is moving off this point. So if a center of gravity, if you displaced, the vertical line through center of the gravity will fall within the base. Okay, the say vertical line, this is a vertical line, the red color line is a vertical line. This line, if you are acting for if you are acting for center of gravity fall within base. Okay, if you are acting for the base point only, correct? If a base point only is acting here, and so it can be written if your original position. So this is a condition. What is the condition? If a vertical line acting for of the vertical line acting for of gravity of still falling within base, so that is a condition. If you again come to the same position, is called a stable equilibrium. Suppose if the red color line of vertical line point, there is no acting for the center of point, base of point. If you not a stable equilibrium, is unstable equilibrium. That's mean if you again does not come to of same position. Okay, so that is a concept. Okay, very clear first one. And if the second one, what is the second one? Unstable equilibrium. If you are unstable equilibrium, the same concept. If reciprocally placed off then a protein of, okay, if you then a protein of will be top, if you then slightly titling, if your center of gravity is lower when in displacement. Okay, so if you initially then reciprocal of the object is reciprocal object, if you then placed in, okay, so the initial center of point and the center of gravity is lower. This is the diagram, center of gravity is higher. Okay, so if you're moving of displacement is lower, so this vertical line through the center of gravity is falling outside the base, correct? This is a base point, this is a base point. If the vertical point is acting for the outside the base, okay, but here then the vertical point acting are the same for the base point. So if it then again is not does not come to the same position, okay, so it's called unstable equilibrium. Okay, and if you then the third one, neutral equilibrium. So what is a neutral equilibrium? It case if then fortune is to top, if a fortune will be the roll about in the does not of top. Okay, so if you does not of the wheel again is not a it's not a variation of the center of gravity if a remaining of the same height. Okay, and if a center of gravity is remain the same height with displacement, the displacement level is also equal if it's same, it's not a variation. This point of initial point of the center of gravity and again is moving of some displacement is also for the same point of center of gravity. Okay, this body will be just stay in the position, it will be an spin of displacement. Okay, if a body will be just stay the position, it will same, it has been same displacement. So if a neutral of equilibrium, the center of gravity there is no changes of place, is always for the same place. Okay, and if a conditions of stability, condition for stability, to make a body is more stability, there is a following of condition very important. The lower it's a center of gravity, center of gravity is very lower, increase in the area of base. If you increase in the area of base, if you condition for the um, more stability. Okay, and if you this box at the point, if you're tipping over, so a heavy base lower at the center of gravity, so the box does not tip over. Okay, and if you both base making the box more difficult to tip over. Okay, so that is the condition for stability. Okay, and if in very familiar examples for stability. Okay, neutral stability, and Tanjavur doll. It is a type of the traditional Indian toy made of um, material. If it an material is called terracotta material. Okay, so then center of gravity and the total weight of the doll is a concentrate of the bottom most point. Okay, this is a bottom of most point. Okay, the bottom of most point if it's generating of the dance. So like the condition is momentum is slow oscillations. If you are then moving up slow oscillation of Tanjavur doll, if it's a condition for of more stability and then a neutral stability of constant. Okay, and a real life application of a center of gravity, it is a reason for the stability. If a luggage of luggage is compartment of a tour bus, if you located then bottom and not for a row. Okay, so if a tour bus, if you're using of luggage in a bottom of point, that is the reason. An extra passenger not allowed than upper truck of a crowd then double trucker bus. Okay, that is not allowed for of double trucker bus. If not allowed then upper pointer. Okay, the racing car or built as a broad of stability, then is also for reason for stability of conditions. Then table lamp and fans designing with a large heavy base of that is the stable. Okay, then table fan also base level is very large, correct? So is a reason for the stability of condition. Okay, and nowadays if a science today, um, if it also tries moving off the speed of 0.1 meter per second and person of walking, the speed of values for the daily life in our entire life. If a person walking 1.4 meter per second, falling off raindrop 9.10 meter per second, then a cat running 14 meter second, the cycling of 20 to 25 kilometer per hour, cheetah running 31 meter by second, the bowling speed of the fast bowler 90 to 100 miles. Okay, the badminton fast 18 to 90 of meter second, the passenger jet 180 meter second, 180 meter by second. That is the daily life of speed in our life. Okay, so is in a lesson for speed and force and motion. If you finish for the last topic, and if a point of to remember what will be then discussing for the entire lesson, and important definition also is explained here: distance, displacement, velocity and acceleration, center of gravity and stability. If you lastly explain of stability, correct? So if a definition then remember point is very important to mark and 3 mark question. Okay, and if tomorrow we will be discussing the last next class will be discussing for of um, class work. Okay, thank you for everyone. We'll meet next class.